Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are still working our way through this endgame, and currently things are a little bit rough economically. That's mostly due to the storm up over here. Eventually that will no longer be a significant issue, but that's a long way in the future. So for right now, we're seeing that we're at minus... Actually, I'm not sure how realistic these numbers are. Let's give it a month tick or two, let that settle out, and let's talk about the economy after that. Because I feel like these numbers are at least somewhat fake. Okay, there's 1 month tick, and it didn't change very much. Let's come back to that in just a little while. So with that in mind, I want to take a look through here and see if there's any jobs that need to be built. And at this moment, the answer is no, which is absolutely fine. So our civilian ships are still working here. That's okay. But this storm is basically perfectly badly located for us. It's really, really rough. And this isn't even a bad storm. So I'm definitely feeling at this point like storm attraction is basically under no circumstances the way to go, even if your empire is prepared for that. Now, to be clear, it's made a lot worse in our situation here because we're building orbital habitats, right? That's going to make things substantially worse no matter what. Yeah, this economy has improved a lot. We'll keep an eye on that. But I'm feeling right now like storm repulsion is just always probably going to be the way to go moving forward. So that's definitely something to consider. And are you building a habitat central complex? Yes, you are. Okay, so our civilian ships are going to need alloys here fairly soon. That's understood. So in terms of economy, letting this month tick go by, this is probably the real situation of our economy. Okay, so that's definitely rough. This is primarily because of the plus 100% station upkeep here. That's definitely painful. And the plus 100% ship upkeep, which I think is also affecting these guys. Let's just move these out to terminal egress for right now. That'll probably help matters at least a little bit, but I don't know how much. It should help some, right? If we check in here... I'm not sure if these count as ships technically, but they are transport ships. And the monthly upkeep on these, maybe we could see it from here? So these are primarily xenomorphs, right? And we would come down to... I saw them here. Hang on. I definitely saw them. Briefly. There they are. Okay, xenomorphs. This is helpfully not telling us. Okay, let's go to the planet then. Armies, recruit. And if we go in here, this tooltip might tell us. Okay, so xenomorphs here, yeah, so these have a base upkeep of 2 energy credits. So this would be doubling that to 4 energy credits for, in theory, 140 of them. So that would be 280. So this would bring us back positive. That, if that counts, that would be the deficit right there. So at this point, we just finished up in Escaminza. So let's go ahead and send out our colonization bugs. There we go. And of course, we're going to need to build our orbitals here. So let's get that going. We're going to need to not enter orbit. We're going to need to come out over here. Major orbital. Minor orbital. This would be a major up over here. We can put a major over the star. All the way out over here in a really awkward path, we can put a major orbital. And then a major would go here, a minor here, and then a major up over here. And then another major out over here. Ooh, yet more. Okay, so a major up over here and up over here. Is that all of them? Yes, I believe that is all of them. So that definitely ate up a few of our alloys, and I'm a bit concerned right now about our energy credits, which is why I'm not currently angling to purchase more alloys, which under most circumstances, I would be very, very, very eager to do indeed. But I want to see what happens on this month tick. That did not change. Okay, so apparently they don't count as ships. Good to know. So this is mostly station upkeep then, at this point. And we would love it if this magnetic storm would stop just sitting right here. It's basically perfectly positioned to destroy most of our production. So that's unfortunate for us, and that's just the way it's going to work with Storm Attraction. So yeah, Storm Repulsion is definitely the way forward. I mean, we kind of knew that already, but yeah, even just this Magnetic Storm, it's building up quite a lot of devastation. This is up to 12%.
New frontiers established.
Now, to be clear, we don't have a Storm Relief Center here, and we probably should put one in. That's fine. We have 29 available jobs there. On Eolum Prime, though, we do have a Storm Relief Center, and this is still at 12% devastation. So there doesn't really seem to be that much of a difference between having a... There really doesn't seem to be any difference, does there? So that's interesting. The monthly devastation must not be affected by the Storm Relief Center, or rather the Storm Nullifier, and the Hunker Down protocols. So that's understood. That just means that we're going to gain a bunch of extra stuff when there's a storm, but at what cost is the question. The main issue is that storms last so long, right? That's the primary issue at this time. But I'm going to sell off some Zero here. I'm going to sell some rare crystals and some volatile motes and some food. And that will bring our energy credits up a bit. Price on alloys is pretty good. I'm going to buy a couple of them, like 2,500 here. And that's it for the moment. Then I'm going to go through and sell again. Just one pass there. There we go. And that'll do for now. Now, I think the major issue that we're having at this moment, this is my theory anyway. Well, actually, I'm looking at this, and there's only one situation here where we have a bunch of defense platforms. And that's right up over here. So what is the upkeep cost on this? I guess we'd have to check the ship designer. These might count as ships or stations. In either case, their upkeep is 5.64. And that's significant, especially if it's doubled. And there's 78 of them here. So what's 78 times 5.64? 7 times 5.64. That would be 439.92. I strongly suspect that that's what we're seeing here. So if this moves and Nunkey is no longer affected, we would be expecting to go significantly positive in energy credits again. If my theory is correct. Now the question is this going to move enough to where Nunkey is not affected? We'll see. It might get pulled out this direction. But that's a hard maybe. For right now, we're up to 2459 pops, and that's definitely seeing some progress here. So let's take a look through and see if there's anywhere... Lem. We could definitely use a Habitat Central Control on Lem. I'd also like to upgrade our mineral purification hubs here eventually, but that's not a huge priority. So we'll get going on that for now. Anything else needing planetary constructions? Not for the moment. Okay, so all of these pops are getting put to work, and that is expected. We do need a gene clinic here. There we go. But yeah, I absolutely believe at this point that, honestly, we could go through and switch all of our buildings over to Storm Repulsion Centers, and that would probably be a benefit to us. Our main problem is these Storm Summoning Theaters, so we're still going to have some issues with that. So just our overall setup here is going to make that very awkward. But yeah, this magnetic storm, the reason this is a problem and previous storms haven't been is because of that ship and station upkeep modifier. That's the issue there. So that's understood. Note how our alloy count keeps diminishing as well. And that would make sense as well if we go in here and look at the Fire Coral class defense platform. The upkeep, well, we would have to go in here. The upkeep on this does not include... Actually, this does include some alloys. Only one. But still. The bigger portion of this, I think, is the fact that we go in here and every single one of these orbital platforms, the upkeep here is currently considered to be 1. But that might actually be being doubled. I don't know if it is or not. It claims it's 1, but who knows? And if we come out over here, the upkeep of this is going to be absolutely extreme. Yeah, you can see here. These are definitely doubled. 10.87 and 2.02. So this is where it's going. This one location in Nunkey. Okay. Well, we just hope that this magnetic storm moves a little bit this way. That would be the dream. Keeping an eye on it on this month tick. No such luck. Okay. Well, for now, that's okay. But the magnetic storm has 82 years remaining on it. So that could be a very, very... Okay, it moved back this direction. This is the exact opposite of how I wanted it to move. I want it to come down here and sit internally, like here, would be ideal for us. But alas, that's not what we've got going on. So we are working on this world down over here, right? There's a world that we're colonizing here, and that world is going to need an orbital ring. That's something that we knew, and where is that? That's Ezok Secundus. So that's right down over here. We're going to need an orbital ring here, so I'm just kind of waiting at this point for a construction ship to become available for that. Which might be like this one. That's a Habitat Central Complex. It would be this one. So as soon as you're done with that, I want you to head over to Ezok and at least enter orbit of Ezok Secundus. This is going to take a while to be colonized, but that'll be done in a few years. That's going to be a significant amount of time. Okay. Well, regardless, it's going to take us some time to get down here, and this orbital is going to take some time to build as well. So we'll let that go for the moment. That will definitely... It'll be maybe some awkward timing. We do have a decent amount of alloys at the moment, and I would like to buy in a few more. There we go. And we're working on the Amlitzer station. This is the final location that is queued up. And keep in mind, each one of these that we build is dropping our alloy count. So we definitely need to get our pops going. We are up to 2468 though, so we're definitely seeing good gains there. Let's get a number of these Fire Coral class defense platforms queued up, and that's going to be a total of 16 of them, bringing us up to 30 out of 78. Okay. But our primary issue right now is absolutely this magnetic storm.
Building a new home.
Okay, so that is all looking fine for the moment. I do want to check through. We've got a fair amount of additional pops since I last checked. So let's see if we have any planetary constructions. We have this mining station here. Now, really all this needs is a Habitat Central control. So we'll go ahead and put that in for now. Eventually, we're going to put in reactor districts and astro mining bays. We could preempt those, but I don't want to pay the upkeep for it, so we're not going to preemptively build them. We'll build them as they become necessary. Anywhere else that needs any planetary constructions, we have so many open jobs still. Like, if we look at Nemean Prime, still 29 available jobs here. And there's still a lot of expansion opportunity. That's nuts. Okay, well, eventually, does this not have a Ministry of Production on it? Hold up. We need a Ministry of Production here. That's going to help matters significantly. So if we get that built, that's going to boost our output by 15% of both our consumer goods and our alloys here. We produce 304 alloys here. That's going to be like 45 alloy production. That's insane. We should definitely get that built. I can't believe we didn't have that. That's insane. I have no explanation for this, but I'm glad I looked at that. So that'll boost up our alloy count somewhat. Our alloy count is continuing to diminish, but this is primarily due to building additional defense platforms combined with this magnetic storm. Those are the two things that are causing us significant issues in that regard. And I also believe that the magnetic storm is the reason why our energy credits are negative. So there's not a lot that we can do about it, unfortunately.
Our nation has come under attack.
Oh, okay. These guys again. So that's kind of hilarious. Do we have claims on the Nimbulans? Hang on. I don't know if we do. No, we don't. We should probably make a few. We've got a decent amount of influence right now. So if we spent somewhere around 300 influence on this, that would be something like that. And then we could claim, say, Ulasia as well. Something like that. We could make these claims. And we'd still have some influence left over. We could maybe grab more of this later on. Okay, so what do they have? They have 120k. Not very threatening. So we're going to send this force into Poa. I'm going to send this force into Leah. We're going to send these guys up over here to defend this side. The White Crush, I want to send directly to Ulasia. We're going to send the nasty Bubos up to Falmir, Rotnev, to Beyond Dazat. And the Hurricane Fleet is going to come with the Black Tide and hit Gamma Valorum, like this. Now, this is going to hurt us economically, having all of these guys leaving. So we'll see what that ends up looking like, and we need to set a war goal. We could do 33% less threat for each conquered system, 25% less threat. So I think we just use the Claim Conquer. Okay, there we go. So that'll be fine. We're going to go in and fight these guys. We could theoretically make some additional claims over here. Like we could claim Naus, or rather Noose over here. That would cost us 80. I'm not sure if we want to make more claims. We do have 200 more influence that we can use. Out of curiosity, how much would it cost us to claim everything here? So that would be an additional 100. 170. That would be 380. And this would be 450. And we'd have an additional 10 beyond this. Okay, so we would need like 440 influence to fully claim their territory. Understood. I don't want to do that right now, but that's interesting, for sure. We might make another claim or two. We'll see how this ends up playing out. So we're going to have some economic woes here, for sure, as our forces depart. And they'll be showing up pretty soon. Yeah, you can see here, minus 1k on the energy credits, not surprising. And the consumer goods, not too bad, but only plus 138 on the alloys. That's not surprising. So the current location of this magnetic storm is here. Okay. Understood. We want it to not be affecting Nunkey, but for the moment, I don't think there's all that much we can do about it. So our forces should start popping through this L gate pretty soon, in theory. In theory. Oh, hello. There's an orbital dock here. I'm thinking we're still negative on our naval capacity. So I'm thinking right now that we should make this into a naval logistics office and we put in another anchorage here. I don't want to spend influence on that anyway, so that seems like a reasonable thing to do. Cool. So when are these guys going to start showing up? They're in terminal egress right now, and these guys are starting to turn up out over here. Yeah, we're starting to leave terminal egress at this point, so that looks pretty decent. Our fleets are going to be turning up very, very shortly. In theory. Emphasis on in theory. Now, I don't know if our allies have any claims up over here. They might. But we're just going to try to press our claims, and we'll see what ends up happening with that. There, now we're finally starting to pop into Hope's End. That took us a really long time to respond to that. At least we have a force on the way up this way, so that'll be absolutely fine. We've got these 4 fleets here. They're all ready to head in. That looks great. And we'll have no problem in invading any of these worlds either, I don't think. So this is absolutely wonderful. So in we go here. No
Battling
issues.
aggressor station.
We do see a lot of friendly fleets up over here. We'll see if they flip these over to us. I kind of doubt they will. I also kind of doubt that we'll be able to take them. Yeah, this is flipping over to the Mawir caretakers, which is probably fine. I'm wondering right now. Yeah, unoccupied claims here. It looks like the only people with claims is us. So this stuff that gets taken up here is never going to be flipped. I think that's okay, but we'll see about making a few more claims towards the end of this war, I suspect. And we'll see how that goes. So we do have this fleet over here that's going to fight the attack swarm. We'll see how that goes. We're going to take some losses for sure, but keeping them tied down, I think, is still pretty valuable. So the Nasty Boobos are going to head up to Beyond Dazat, and that looks good. We are, of course, getting POA under control, and I want to begin bombardment right away over at POA 3. This is 564. Okay, so we're going to bring these guys in, and we're just going to come land on this. We really don't need to bombard at all. So I'm actually going to move these guys up over this direction, like so. That'll be fine. Now, apparently we did take a few losses fighting that station. That's understood. We've got Ulasia up over here. We're probably taking some losses fighting this station as well. Okay, let's get that taken care of. We're definitely going to take some losses there. That's understood. I do want to keep our energy credits afloat. We are concerned, for sure, about running out of energy credits. We would not want to have that happen at this time. So I'm going to sell some of that off. That'll keep us afloat for a few months. We're continuing to take some losses there. We're probably taking losses here as well. Oh, we're definitely going to take some losses here. But yeah, keeping these guys at least tied down while we get all of this under control looks pretty good. Okay, so the question is, how are we going to do on these battles, right?
Planetary invasion begun.
Oh, we're definitely taking losses. No doubt about that. They have a few powerful ships, and we have a lot of weak ships, right? That's basically how this boils down. We are swarming them, and we'll see how that plays out. For the moment, it seems reasonably okay. So we have these two fleets in Gamma Valorum at this moment, and this station will fall very easily. I do want to go over to Ulasia and make sure that we are bombarding here. I don't expect that to be a difficult location, but regardless, I want to have that happen. Okay, so the question is, are we winning this? And the answer is yes. Yes. The answer is yes.
New frontiers established.
Barely, but yes. Cool. So that's dealt with. I like it. And at this point, we can definitely bring our science ship out over here. Right. They're currently busy. So I think that we're best off to build a new science ship, which we will definitely do. We'll head off over this direction and get one going. So a science ship will come on out. That looks great. And we did win this battle, but barely. We're going to head down to Noose, down over this direction, like so. And we can see that this all flipped, so that is understood. So in terms of what we would be looking to make claims on, in theory, it would be Gamma Valorum and Noose here. So that would be one here and one here. We actually have the influence to do that. Now, these are flipped, so we're never going to be able to get that unless there's a way to flip them back that I don't know about. That's a possibility. But I'm going to go ahead and make these claims right down here. So as soon as this war is over, all of this will become ours, and this will be the remaining Netfunkin vestige at that point. Even with the 7th fleet of the XT-489 assemblers down here in Noose, because we just made this claim, this should flip to us. So that would be perfect. I want these guys to be bombarding over here. We're going to want one bombarding at Boundary and one bombarding at the core. And then this fleet, I'm actually going to move them over to the core as well. And then these guys are going to move up to bombard at Boundary, like so. Okay, so that's looking good. And then these guys, we shouldn't need to go into Noose. This is going to be taken care of. Yeah, that gets flipped to us. So no problem there. Let's just have these guys move over and do some bombardment over here. So that looks great. We should be pretty much done with this invasion, right? Yeah, that's indeed the case. So let's get rid of these. I don't know why these guys think that they can take us. This is a very bad idea. They should never declare war on us like this. We could single-handedly
Aggressor
defeat
colony
them,
emancipated.
let alone everyone else here. So I want to move up to Ulasia next, and we're going to come land on Ulasia 1. Looks perfect. And then, of course, we're going to need to get Gamma Valorum under full control, but that's going to take a little while. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to note that this construction ship and science ship needs some work. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. We're going to bring in our Prime Forecaster here, and let's go research the debris out over this direction. And next episode... Why did this just flip? Oh, they successfully invaded Kilkernel. Well, that's awkward. Very, very awkward. We'll deal with that next episode as well. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGar, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.